WCCO Television, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
You know, ever since I was at the Metrodome earlier this year to throw out a first ball and to give Tom Kelly some managing tips, the Twins have really taken off. And to all of you wheel watchers from the Twin Cities, we have a special message. Go, Vanna. Now stay tuned for the Twins World Series preview next.
And now, WCCO Television presents the World Series Preview.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our World Series Preview, live from St. Louis, Missouri, just outside the confines of beautiful Busch Stadium.
Oh, we cannot wait for the game tonight. It's going to be a good one. The Minnesota Twins, of course, taking on the St. Louis Cardinals here at Busch Stadium. It is game number 5 in the World Series, and it is going to be a very important game for both of these teams. Now, at this point, as you know, the series is tied up. The Twins have won 2 games, the Cardinals 2 games. Both of those teams have won their 2 games in their home turf. Game number 6 will be played Saturday afternoon, whichever team wins tonight. And then if one team wins both tonight and Saturday, that team becomes the World Series champion. If games 5 and 6 are split, game 7 will be played at home at the Metrodome. And that game, of course, will determine the winner of the World Series.
I don't know what you think, Pat, but it appears to me from the way that these Cardinal fans are behaving, they are starting to think maybe they can win this World Series kind of a thing. I'm not too sure that they can, but it would be their impression. That's the kind of behavior you'll see around here when they win. The skies above Busch Stadium exploded with fireworks celebrating last night's 7-2 win over the Twins. And I think they just keep getting brighter and louder each game they win, but I think they're going to be quieted tonight. I don't know about you. This is another day. That's the way they talk in sports. For a check on how the St. Louis fans feel going into this game number 5 of the World Series of Baseball, we're going to go to one of the great baseball fans in history. Happens to work for us, Marcia Fleur. She's standing by just outside the stadium. Marcia?
Well, if you think, Don, I'm foolish enough to go out and look for St. Louis fans when I got Twins fans around, you got another thing coming. We got some folks who came down here today just for this game, and what's your name?
Amy Bromberg.
All right, now quickly, what did you bring down here that's going to break this jinx?
Birdseed.
What have you got?
A loud voice.
Your name?
Janine Lee.
Okay, what have you got?
Wally the Beer Man's pitcher.
And how about you?
This is a weird stadium. It's got no roof. The spirit of the dome.
And how about you, sir?
Got a lot of spirit.
And you, ma'am?
Same thing here.
Well, see, now, you don't really need to be up in Minnesota to get Twin spirit. These folks are going to be sitting where the Cardinals have allowed them to buy tickets, and it should be a lot of fun for everybody tonight. Now, let's hear it, guys. I'm impressed. Doug.
All right, thank you, Marcia. A lot of competition out there right now. The Twins are on the receiving end today of a lot of messages from all across the country. They got pick-me-up from home, as a matter of fact. The St. Paul Pioneer Press today delivered 10,000 messages from Minnesota. The paper had offered fans a chance to send good luck notes to the team and ended up with a sack full of them. Pitcher Bert Blyleven accepted the letters and the pictures, many of which came from schools and businesses all across the Twin Cities. As we are quickly finding out, to root for the Twins while here in St. Louis is almost a cardinal sin, okay? But back in St. Paul, Darryl Savage has found a group of Twins fans giving some heavenly support. Darryl?
Pat, for 104 years, the Little Sisters of the Poor have been supporting the Twins, and this is probably the most support they've gotten in about 104 years. As you can see, the people here are already gathering for tonight's game an hour and a half early. But the 15 sisters and the 118 residents here haven't just been jumping on the bandwagon. They've been big Twins fans for a long time, and this isn't the first time they've made news supporting the Twins. You may remember a week ago, St. Paul Mayor George Latimer gave the sisters here a case of beer in the name of the Twins. Of course, he won the beer in a bet with Detroit's mayor after their championship series. On to the World Series. Now the supportive fans here are getting ready for tonight's game. And as you can see, they even made buttons. The Little Sisters of the Poor love the Minnesota Twins. Just about everybody here has a button on. One person didn't have a button on. We asked her where her button was. She says it's in her heart. Joining me now is Sister Marguerite. Now, the sister was telling me that they've had this support all year long. What's it been like throughout the year rooting for the Twins here?
Well, every year it's wonderful, but this year it's been out of this world, heavenly. It's always great when they're winning, and this has been a great year. Just wonderful.
Why has it been such a good year, do you think, as far as the support that the Twins have gotten here aside from winning? Do you like the players on the team?
Oh, we like the players, and we've been getting to know them. You know, we've been really more interested this year in it and have kind of gotten to know each one a little better.
Thank you very much, sister.
Thank you.
More evidence that baseball is a kid's game. And Don and Pat, it's just a good thing that the Twins aren't playing the Angels.
All right, Darryl, thank you very much. Our World Series preview is going to continue in just a moment. We've asked Mark Rosen to come back in here. He's going to be giving us, after the commercial messages, a few of the keys to tonight's Twins victory.
I used to be a lousy cook until I got a hold of Heinz 57 sauce. It's more than a great steak sauce. On the back of these bottles is my entire recipe collection. Great American meatloaf, sweet and sour pork chops. This is tangy chicken. Heinz 57 gives it a tangy flavor you can't get from any other sauce. With Heinz 57, even I can be a culinary success. Try Heinz 57 sauce. It's more than a steak sauce. A heck of a lot more.
This is the Twin Cities. This is the Twin Cities' favorite store. And this is why you won't find lower prices on a Sharp half-pint microwave oven for $89 or on a wet and dry vac for $64. And we won't be undersold on a 6-piece Visions cookware set for $29.97 either. Kmart, the store that won't be undersold. That's one more reason we're America's favorite store.
Many people are told to stay away from cheese and other dairy products because of high cholesterol content. But University of Minnesota researchers hope to change that. They're working on a process to take the fat out and leave the milk in. Tonight at 10, we'll detail their progress. Also at 10 was the pilot of a small plane which crashed in south central Minnesota, licensed to fly in existing conditions, and a review of President Reagan's news conference, all coming up on the 10 p.m. report.
Introducing Ore-Ida Vegetable Crisp. 6 delicious kinds of garden vegetables dipped and crisped in a tasty crumb coating.
Bake them till they're crisp, watch them disappear. 'Cause when it says Ore-Ida, it's Ore-Ida.
It can be tough.
It's always fun.
And you'll never lose.
By watching Jeopardy!
By speaking Jeopardese.
The ability to communicate in the form of a question.
What is?
Jeopardy!
Weekdays on Channel 4.
Tomorrow. We're going one game at a time yet. Until this thing is over with.
We've heard that all year long.
Look where it got us.
I'll tell you where it got him. It got him to the 5th game of the World Series in one heck of a season. Of course, that's Kent Herbie talking to our Pat Kessler last night after the game in the locker room. Not feeling real chipper after a loss like that last night, but the guys, again, seem up for the game. And they got the horse going for him on the mound.
That's right, Don and Pat. You're talking about starting pitchers in game 5 tonight, the same ones that started game 2. Danny Cox for the Cardinals, who lasted just 3 2/3, giving up 6 hits and 7 runs in that game at the Dome last week. He'll be opposed by Bert Blyleven, who last week went 7 innings, giving up just 2 runs, only 1 walk, 8 strikeouts against a number of left-handed batters. In game 2, he threw only 94 pitches, so even though he's going on 3 days rest, Blyleven is very well rested. And Peter Gammons of Sports Illustrated just said Blyleven could become a Hall of Fame pitcher just by his performance in postseason alone. What about the keys to the game tonight? We talked about some of them last night. Didn't work out real well for the Twins. Number 1, Blyleven and the umpiring. You're going to have an American League umpire behind home plate tonight, Ken Kaiser. Last night, a National League umpire, John McSherry, who did not really give Viola the low strikes, although Viola first admitted that he was really wild all over the place. Herzog has complained that Blyleven doesn't come to a full set with runners on base. He has warned the umpires, look for the balk. Blyleven said, I've been pitching this way for 17 years. I'm not going to change now. Watch the umpires tonight. See if they'll call a balk on Blyleven. They're going to try to upset him as Whitey continues to play the mind game. Number 2, 2-out hitting for the Twins. The key to the Twins' success in the postseason so far has been their ability to knock in runs with 2 outs. Last night they didn't do it. They left 10 men on base. That was certainly their downfall offensively. And number 3, Jeff Reardon. Remember him? He's pitched just 1 inning in this series because of all the blowouts. And I think you're going to see a close game tonight, and you're going to expect to see Jeff Reardon in the game, and it may come down on his right arm. Win or lose, it's going to be Jeff Reardon, I think, on the mound tonight. And I guess the question, Don and Pat, I have is if Blyleven goes 7 innings, will he bring in Berenguer, or has Tom Kelly lost some confidence in Juan? Will he bring in Reardon a little bit earlier than perhaps he'd like to? But Reardon, of course, has done the job all year, and he's got to go with him tonight.
It seems like that in the National League, at least maybe the Cardinals, can hit the fastball, though, a lot better than they can.
They see a lot of fastballs, Pat, throughout the year, and Straker had success against the Cardinals with his slow breaking stuff and his slider. Blyleven, of course, with perhaps still the best curveball in all of baseball. He's befuddled the Cardinals before, and he's going to try to do it again tonight.
I'm saying 4-2 Twins.
I think it's going to go 7 games no matter what happens.
Okay.
We're going to throw it now to Dave Moore, who is standing by in the studio.
Best curveball in all baseball or not, Mark, Pete Gammons better get himself reassigned to hockey. What a silly statement to make about Bert Blyleven. Bob Allison has been doing some perceptive thinking about Bert Blyleven's appearance tonight and looking forward to Whitey Herzog, looking for any leak in the dam there. What about, there's something about his windup that you think Herzog will discover that no one else knows?
Well, I like it from the standpoint that we have an American League umpire behind the plate rather than a National League umpire, because then I think Whitey would have just a little bit more of a case than he's going to have. Bert has pitched like this all of his career. He's not going to change tonight. And if they want to start nitpicking, and possibly that could cause a problem.
What nit would they pick on?
Well, the fact is, when he comes down, he doesn't really give Whitey, in Whitey's estimation, enough pause here before he delivers
come to a full stop?
You don't have to come to a full stop.
You don't.
It's just a pause. And Whitey's picking on that, trying to get something going, obviously. Whitey's an old pro, you know. He's been around this game a lot of years, and he might have the pitcher playing in the outfield before the night's over with, you know. He's that kind of a guy.
He's looking for any port in the storm. In other words, he's going to look to see that Blyleven makes that pause, he's going to yell balk.
Otherwise, he's going to be talking to the umpire. And like I say, I like it because the American League umpire is behind the plate and the National League umpire is on first and third.
Yeah. Aren't you puzzled, or perhaps not puzzled, but a little bit distressed at the fact that every regular on the Twins team has a home run except Puckett, Herbeck, and Vernansky? Had that been changed, would the outcome be different than what we know it now?
Well, I'm sure of this, Dave, that the scouting reports for St. Louis told them that these are 3 guys that you've got to handle very carefully and make sure that you don't make bad pitches on them. And because of that, I think probably that all of the St. Louis pitchers are probably really bearing down on them, and has made a difference in their ability to hit the ball in the series.
Concentrating on that and letting up on Gladden, Gagne, Lombardozzi, and so forth.
That's correct. Last night, just like Viola or not Viola, but when he gave up the home run to the guy.
Yeah.
He didn't expect that.
I'm getting the wrap. Would you like to make a forecast on tonight's game?
I'll take Blyleven all the way.
You think Tom Kelly will let him finish the game?
Definitely.
All right, so we'll come back here, winning only 1 game on Saturday. Okay, you heard it here, folks. Back to St. Louis, Mark and Pat and Don.
And the interesting thing is we won't know until the game's over. Now, in just a moment, we're going to meet a group of Cardinal fans who know the real meaning of this Mississippi River mantra. So stay with us.
Look at the Twins fans.
Once, glasses took the life out of your look. Now, they make it smart. Smarter. Smartest. Benson Optical, for every look of your life.
Save $20 on glasses or contacts now at Benson Optical.
I'll have a burger with everything and a large fries.
Something to drink?
Yeah, a Coke. I meant a Pepsi.
If you want great refreshment, just say what you mean.
I'll make that 2 Pepsis.
Pepsi, the choice of a new generation.
My 90-pound teenager thought she was fat, but she wouldn't eat. Then one day she collapsed at school. The nurse there suggested that I take her to the Institute for Eating Disorders at Methodist Hospital. They said she had anorexia nervosa. She was literally starving herself to death, and I didn't even know it. Nancy's recovering now, and so am I.
The Institute for Eating Disorders at Methodist Hospital. Call Healthline 932-5500.
To get free delivery at most stores, you have to deliver it yourself. But Highland offers free delivery on all major appliances.
I got it.
Just thought you'd like to know. Recently, the TV on the right went into Highland's own service department, while the TV on the left went into a store that didn't have its own service department.
This is the most incredible finish I have ever seen.
Get the picture?
We're back live now at Busch Stadium in St. Louis, Missouri, as our World Series preview continues for Game 5.
To give you some idea of how chaotic it is here, my dad, who is, as you know, a Cardinals fan, is somewhere in this mass of people, but we just seem to find each other.
And we've got the modern-day band is starting to make some noise, and behind us they're marching into the stadium, and we were hoping that we might be able to delay things just a bit so we can give you a kind of a live shot of the Clydesdales as they move in here, as they do each night here.
And McKenzie, who rides in with the Clydesdale into the stadium. It really is a beautiful night in St. Louis, and I think it's going to be a terrific game because, for one thing, it's not as cold, and let's face it, it has to have an effect on the players, and all of them said this afternoon that with the weather as balmy as it's been, they feel better.
Yeah.
They're more encouraged about the game tonight. I think they're looking forward to it even.
I don't know what it looked like at home on television to watch it, but to watch Gary Gaetti jumping up and down, literally jumping up and down on third base, trying to stay warm.
Blowing into their hands.
That's got to have an effect on.
And it won't be that way tonight, so woo.
Right. World Series has been coined the Mississippi River Series matchup because most of the Twin Cities is in St. Louis, of course, right on the edge of the Mississippi River. Reporter Tom Stewart discovered a group of people who've been riding the current of baseball mania in both directions.
They dubbed it the Mississippi Series, from the waterfront in the Twin Cities to the body banks of St. Louis. But few fans take this river rivalry as literally as the crew of the Laura Elizabeth, from the captain on down.
Hey, Mac, what did you think about last night's ball game?
The last two nights, I call them right to the T. Right to the T. Tonight's going to be the same way.
Although the Stern says St. Louis, the crew comes from up and down river of Busch Stadium. Still, most on board root for their home port team.
Yeah, of course, we're familiar with St. Louis and the Twin Cities also. We go through both of them, pick up toes here and carry them to St. Louis, so kind of have a connection with it.
The crew has been stranded out here on the river for the entire World Series so far, but that hardly keeps them out of the flow of the games.
They're going to win it, I hope.
Once we get our regular work done, you know, we sit back in the galley and watch it. If we're a part of the river, we get TV reception.
We'll make a log, you know. The logman will tell us who's winning, you know, what inning it is and what score and all that stuff.
Like the Cardinals, it's been upstream for these fans all the way.
I wish I had a hat and a jacket. It said Cardinals on it. I'd parade up and down the street.
That's no coincidence then that you're wearing a red shirt.
Oh, no, that's the reason I have it on.
The one hand who does cheer for the Twins would have been better off threatening a mutiny.
They give you a hard time? Yeah, they ragged me a lot about it. That's all right. We're going to show them in the long run.
This evening, the Laura Elizabeth will be far from Busch Stadium. But when the game starts, the crew will be right in the thick of it. Tom Stewart, WCCO Television News on the Mississippi.
McDonald's presents Halloween certificates.
And get the fudgy sundaes, delicious cookies, wonderful pies. But how do I know which house has them? You'll know when you see this.
Buy 12 McDonald's certificates for $1 and get a free pumpkin decal for your door. McDonald's Halloween gift certificates.
Each book of certificates sold benefits your local Ronald McDonald house. So this Halloween, try giving something different. Give hope.
Tonight, my mother gets mugged and I turn out to be the bag man.
Vince is torn between the code of silence
and his conscience.
I'm telling Turtle what? The truth about me. I know what sacrifice is about. You cannot tell her!
Wise guy. And then...
I can't stop being involved. I am involved.
Abby was the one who buried the man.
Just don't sleep too soundly.
Fell. It was an accident.
Knots Landing, starting tonight at 9, 8 Central and Mountain on CBS.
All right, listen up. Listen up. It's very, very hard to win on the road. But you guys did it. I know you're beat up. I know you're tired. But remember, next week, we play at home. And there's no place like home. Home. There's no place like 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 home.
Thanks to you, there's no place like home. Tickets are on sale now for the Gophers' next home game. Order yours by calling 624-8080 anytime between 9 and 5 p.m.
Every team has its clubhouse characters, and the St. Louis Cardinals are no exception to this rule. In fact, Marcia Fleur has found some characters around St. Louis.
Well, you know, she's the kind of person who I don't know, I'm not going to say that Marcia Fleur attracts characters. I'll say that Marcia Fleur is sort of attracted to characters, and she spends a lot of time and a very knowledgeable person about the game of baseball. Well, one of the things that she does that makes us understand the game of baseball a little bit better is to understand the kind of people that populate the game, not only the players, but the clubhouse personnel, the staff, the fans. So that's one of the great delights of having someone with that kind of knowledge on board. So I don't even know who she's found this time, Marcia.
Well, I found a fellow by the name of Doggy Lynch, Don. Now, in 1926, he actually ushered when the Cardinals were in the World Series. But for the last 41 years, he has been the clubhouse guard. He has known them all, Ruth and Gehrig, but at 83, he doesn't dwell on the past.
You say you were here for the first World Series in 26. What's your favorite card?
24 that's in here now.
Why is that?
Why is that?
Yeah. Why not the gas house game?
Because they're not here no more. These guys are here with me now. They're all my friends now.
This is your spot.
This is my spot.
And tell me what you see.
What you see the pitching mound. You see the shortstop, and then you see the cameras in the way now. You can see second base. Now, when the visiting team makes it out, they have to go back to their dugout.
Okay, Doggy, how about a prediction on this series?
Oh, you know who's going to win it.
Is that a challenge?
That ain't a challenge. That's a remark that's going to be true.
And which game is this going to happen in, 6 or 7?
Coxie's going to beat us tonight, and John's going to beat him Saturday.
Doggy, you ever been wrong?
Yeah, lots of times.
That's a very nice man. He said he's going to retire when the game stops being fun. But I don't think for Doggy Lynch the game's ever going to stop being fun. Pat?
All right. Nice character. Now, there are a lot of Twins fans here in St. Louis. A lot of them come down here, but unless they are close personal friends with either Sid Hartman or Carl Pohlad, they probably don't have very good seats because Busch Stadium is a very, very big place to be. The power alleys in right and left are at 383. Center field's at 414. The upper deck is about 1.25 miles away from the playing field, and that's where our tickets are, along with most of the other Twins fans. And in a stadium like that, that's a day's walk. We'll take you to our seats. Yeah, that's journalism at its best, I think, don't you, Pat?
Listen, I'm just so happy to have a ticket. I don't care where I sit.
You're absolutely right. It is so wonderful just to be a part of the whole World Series meeting and to be inside this ballpark. And don't let anybody fool you. It's a beautiful ballpark, but we know now why it's not domed, because people in the cheap seats would have a permanent case of sway back there.
That's true. The famous Homer Hanky has found a place in history. We'll tell you about it in just a minute.
Something strange happens whenever Super Value has a super stock-up sale. Everyone drops whatever they're doing. In fact, no one can think about anything else but dropping everything just to come and save money.
Stock up and save now through Saturday. Prego spaghetti sauce, assorted varieties, $1.39. Or Chungking chow mein, $1.99. And Idaho and specialty potatoes, only 59 cents.
So come to Super Value's Super Stock-Up Sale. When it's all over, you can pick up where you left off.
Avoid the noise with the Domino's Pizza Guarantee. If your pizza does not arrive within 30 minutes, you get $3 off. And if you're not satisfied with your pizza, we'll replace it or refund your money. Only our pizza is guaranteed to avoid the noise. Domino's Pizza delivers.
Want to make some extra dough for the holidays? Domino's Pizza is now hiring for all in-store and delivery positions. Visit your local Domino's Pizza store for details.
Most health plans talk about choice, but when you go to their clinic, your choices quietly slip away. You may be losing the right to choose your own doctor, to change doctors anytime, to see a specialist without a referral. Only one health plan is working to preserve these freedoms for you, PHP. And if you don't have the freedom to choose, what do you have?